Good morning, Joe. What's going on, man?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little fuzzy today. I got to admit, man. I got some. I don't know. I got this weird thing that's giving me symptoms, man. I put it this way. I scheduled I guess I'm middle aged, 45. Are we middle aged? However it works. As a 45-year-old man,
We're middle aged.
Yeah, I booked my own doctor appointment because of this thing, man. I got to get a little
Oh,
attention.
really?
Yeah. I'm seeking professional help.
And what are those symptoms? Pray tell.
The worst is the vertigo. It comes in waves,
Oh.
man. I'll like just sitting down. I'll be like, and you got to do the like, okay, Adam, you're not actually falling. You're not. All you had to do is sit. Like that's your move, and just stay. And then I do, and then it passes, but it comes in these waves, man. Yeah, it's a little.
Well, that's strange. It's not a panic attack, is it?
I mean, it's been going for 4 days, and now the closest thing, or if I've ever had a panic attack, the one time that I did, it was nothing like this. No, that was different. That was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no panic. I don't have I don't have the panic part, but I got
Yeah.
See, I have vertigo, body aches, and headache, and they just get progressively worse through the day. Like I wake up today, I was like, I got pretty good sleep. I'm feeling maybe I'm all right, and then like I'll move, and it's like, oh, whoa, I'm on a boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is awful. That's terrible, man. It sucks.
Yeah. So I'm going to get checked out. So we can. I'm not sensitive about it. With the audience, if they have input, they can let me know. The leading.
Yeah. So it's vertigo, it's body aches, and then it's headaches.
Headaches. That's the primary stuff.
So audience, let's diagnose this fella here. He needs our professional help here.
That's
so
right.
bias in Denmark.
Yeah.
You give us a little of your worldly knowledge about vertigo, body aches, headaches. Let's help Adam out a little bit here. What do you think?
Yeah.
I already have my. I think it's panic attack.
Okay. What? I'm not panicking. What do I have anything to panic over, Joe?
No, I'm just kidding.
The life I've chosen, and that this is the.
You have had a panic attack before?
Oh yeah. One time, and it was all the stuff. It was completely irrational. It was overwhelming. It was physically really kind of tough. And I'll tell you, it happened at work. I was afraid I'd taken the incorrect job. I was like, oh no, what have I done? I've taken job. I've moved my family here. I left this other job. And then I realized that there was a madman that had hired me that was running the operation. And I put a lot of chips. I called in favors to other people to leave their jobs to come work with me, kind of situation, all that. So anyway, it all just kind of hit me. And I didn't say a word. I turned out the lights in my office. I walked home. I lived about 2 blocks away. I didn't want anybody to know I was gone, so I left my car there. I walked home, turned out the lights, sat in the living room, and freaked out for about 3 hours. And then like a light switch, I was like, well, okay, I better get to work. I walked back. Nobody ever said a word. And I went and did the dinner shift and finished up and went on.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did the madman stay there or no?
He got fired about a week later for his behavior. And
okay.
The place very quickly improved, and it was ended up being a very good place, So
all right. Hey, creative genetics. Thanks.
Yeah,
man.
Keith, right out of the gate there. So we come, everybody. We were kind of meandering down memory lane there, and I'm meandering in my mind this morning all over the place. We're brought to you ad free by Palm Street and the kind people like Keith at Creative Genetics. I've been feeling bad. We get so excited and into these things that we wait till the end. But people like Keeper Kane keep the lights on for us too. You guys should check out his YouTube account. He's got reptiles, ball python breeder, big snakes. I think he's got retics, big snakes, whatever they are, tarantulas, and aquatics. And that whole experience and journey is on YouTube. Always family friendly, guaranteed. Go check out Keeper Kane. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah. What's that? Go ahead.
I would say I like the idea of people in the industry supporting people in the industry versus an ad for like Vertigo pills that everybody else is going to have pop up on their Google feed today. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So what about you, Joe? How's your week been? How you doing, man?
Okay. No panic attacks for me. Although I just want to, I think that's a normal thing that happens. I think it's normalized in our society is that many, many people have panic attacks. And I think that's what happens. I'm not saying that you have a panic attack. I'm not saying that. It just came up. So I just wanted to give it some light because I've had panic attacks in my past as well. Actually at a very young age. And
really?
It's one of the weirdest things. It's so strange. I used to wake up with panic attacks, and I was much more of a nervous kid than I am. I'm more kind of relaxed now, or either I'm more relaxed now and I can handle it and I kind of bury it down, or I can handle it better these days. But I would wake up and I didn't know what they were until I like figured it out and went to the doctor. But I was maybe 12, 13 years old when I first started having them.
Did you have like the physiological effects of it, like the tunnel vision and headache and things go dark?
Yeah, it was like, it's like the world is moving around you too quickly. And then it starts to move away from you. And I don't know if anybody's watched I thought the best visual depiction that I ever saw was on Ted Lasso when he has a panic attack.
Right.
It's a really good visualization of what happens with a panic attack. And I had them into college, but by college I was used to them. I was so used to them that I knew how to handle them better. And it is physiological, and it's like, and there's breathing techniques, and there's just slowing down your breathing and lying down. That's what helped with me, was like just being still. And psychologically, the psychological part was knowing that it will pass, that this is just a thing that happens, and it will pass. And just breathe and breathe, and it will pass. And then, because when you don't know what it is, then there's like a dialogue between your psychology, your psyche, and your body that just kind of spins into this thing that you feel like you really can't get out of.
Right. The self-perpetuating mental things that we can do to ourselves is really, it's incredible in positive and negative ways, actually.
Yeah. So is this your one thing over this past week? Is like you're not feeling this?
Well, yeah. Well, and it was kind of funny because Tuesday night it was really, like I say, as the day goes on, it gets worse, and I get more fatigued, and I get these headaches and body aches. So by Tuesday night, I didn't tell my guests that I was going through this, and I didn't tell the audience. And I was just like, let me power through, let me get going there. And there were several times in the show where I definitely was like sitting with both hands on the end of the desk, like telling, like, you're not actually falling, just focus, just you're good on the camera, and keep going. And I was like, okay, I made it through that show. And it was really funny because several people, like in Patreon and in the comments, were like, this was a really great show, really insightful, lots going on. I was like, oh, I was hurting. I was out of my head, man. So that was kind of, I got a kick out of that. And like, I don't want to over dramatize it. Like, I think I'm fine, but I got to get checked out today. And we'll see what they say. But no, my one thing would be, it's kind of the end of summer. It's early here for the end of summer. We still have the Minnesota State Fair, big summer icon. There's still that coming up. And then here we start the day after Labor Day. So it's almost there. But what summer with school has to do with anything is I think that fall is typically a very good buying season. Vacations have ended. People aren't going to Disney World every weekend. Back to school shopping, you're going to get that out of the way. And then people have money to spend on ball pythons. And it starts making sense again. All right. Yeah. So let me give you the rundown, Joe, just because I think it is conversational, but it also, it helps to get a little info out there sometimes.
I think we've lost all of our chat.
Well, I don't think that's real. I think I see. Well, we wouldn't want to acknowledge that anyway. I see that, but I don't think that's real. Don't worry, it'll pop back up.
Okay.
So this Sunday, I'm vending in Eau Claire with Snake Discovery. Then a month from right now, I'll be in Toronto with Chris Eaton, podcasting live from the CRBE. And then, see, Jamie says we're all systems go on the communicate. We haven't lost anything. We're good. We're good. Just because the dashboard's a little funky doesn't mean anything. Yeah, you keep the pedal down, Joe.
Sorry.
Still navigate the next corner. Then I go to Toronto for a couple days. Then the Epic Conference is back as well on September 27th. And then
it is?
Yeah, we're doing the Epic Conference again, man. We're ironing out the final lineup and schedule. But the Epic Conference is back. So I'm pretty excited for that. Then I go to South Dakota, then back to Minnesota, then to Chicago, then to Fargo, then back to Minnesota, and I'll wrap up at a show in Des Moines, Iowa. And I'll do all of that in 5 weeks from the start of the South Dakota show.
Wow. Okay.
So
if you weren't in the midst of a panic attack, maybe you will enter one into one.
No, I'm excited, man. I get to get back out on the road, go hang out with people at shows, do the revenue. Like
that does sound really exciting. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I've been like, see, I cut out a lot of shows from last year just because you do the analytics and you're like, I'm not making headway in this market, or there's not a market in this location.
Right. Yeah.
The things don't add up. So for a little while, I've only been doing one show a month. And I'm pretty excited that in the next 10 weeks, I've got like 10 things going on. So it's
that's really cool.
Kind of mentally kicks into gear. Go ahead.
Is there one or the other that you're kind of like, this is going to be a big one? Or do you not know going into it? You
don't know, and you get optimistic for each of them. Tinley is always a fun time. I'm working on cooking up a couple things at Tinley. Some of it's going to depend on the revenue that I do this weekend. If I have money to do some cool stuff for Tinley, like merch and some other equipment that I'm looking at. So I'm always excited for Tinley. That's a big deal. But it sounds a little bit funny. The Fargo and the South Dakota show. So there's Fargo, you got your northern version of the Dakota, and then Sioux Falls, you got South Dakota. I don't know what they do out there, but they're beautiful towns. There's a whole bunch of rich cowboys, and they all pay cash for their ball pythons, man. It's a fun it's a fun trip. The cities are nice. There's good restaurants, the hotels, and they're hotel trips. So the hotel's nice, the city's nice. Like, I do well at the show.
That's cool. I love having a gig that brings you places that you wouldn't normally go to, and you like discover a new. Like, you would never go, I have a week here, let me vacation in Fargo.
Yeah, let me pick Fargo. But it's a nice place. I got to admit, man.
It's probably a nice place. Yeah. That's awesome. That's great.
And they're both metropolitan. They both have about 300,000 people in the city. They're big. They're not huge cities, but they're cities. And like I say, there's just a good scene. And I really I always will get dinner at like the steakhouse bar or whatever restaurant, but I'll sit at the bar. So inevitably I meet some local flavor of character. Yeah. And I know I get the irony, because that local person's going, this guy from the big cities in Minneapolis. He's here selling snake. He drove all the way here to sell some snakes, And so like they're getting the unlocal flavor, and it's all cool.
That's great. That's really fun. Really fun. And that all starts this weekend. Is that right?
Yeah, this Sunday I'm off to Wisconsin, and then I do have about a month break till the next show, and then it's off to the races. But I mean, I'll do, like I say, the 17th is this weekend. Then by September 13th, I'll be in Toronto for that show to live stream from.
I'm trying to remember, is Wisconsin the place where you had to set up a business? I'm trying to remember that story.
Regional office of Proper
regional office.
Regional offices of Proper Royals. Yes, there is a regional office of Proper Royals in
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And why is that? I mean, that's kind of I can't quite remember, but there's like a regulation in Wisconsin that anyone who sells reptiles or pets needs to have a Wisconsin license.
If you import,
or if you come from out of state,
if you come from out of state and import animals, you need a vet inspection and import license on each animal. Whereas if you have animals stationed at your regional office in Wisconsin, they would already be in state, and you vend as usual.
Yeah, nice. All right, interesting. There's always. Sometimes you got to just open up a business in another location. Open up your branch, your regional branch.
That's what you do. Your regional branch, the Wisconsin regional office. It'll be good. It'll be good to see the team there to pop in. Do a little corporate pop in on the team. I regret I didn't give you a tour of the regional offices there in Wisconsin.
We didn't get out there. So
I actually think you probably. I think when the train came in, because you came in through Stillwater, I think, and over the Mississippi, and you would have gone right by the regional offices. You might have even seen them from the train tracks. Who's to say?
Cool. Cool. Nice. It's funny. You sent me a photo over the weekend of some adventures that you had. Holy smoke! I thought that was going to be your one thing. Holy smokes!
Well, it actually should be. Maybe I'll make it the one thing here. It is worth discussing, because it could tie into my my current what would you call it, a fugue? The current haze that I'm going through.
Okay. This monster. So you went out. Cabin culture we've discussed this, I think, on the podcast. Cabin culture in Minnesota is a definite thing in the summertime. You go out to your cabin, and so you went out to some of your buddy's cabin, and you went fishing. And look at this monster!
Look at that! Smokes. Look at that northern pike, man. That is how you, that's how you know you're a true upper Midwesterner right there. I've only caught 2 pike in my life, and that's one of 2 right there. Look at that thing. That was a good trophy, huh?
That is awesome. Holy smoke. I showed it to Aiden. He was like, wow, we got to get up there. We got to go visit him. We got to get out there. And look at how happy you are.
Oh, I'm like a little kid. Yeah. So
look at that face.
My favorite thing is I'm in this kayak, which was great. This thing is like the luxury kayak of fishing. Like, you can't tell, but there's pedals there. So I'm paddling around the lake with my feet pedaling.
Okay, yeah.
And my real goal was to catch a northern pike on a fly rod. So I was out there fly fishing, and I was catching largemouth bass and having a great time. And our host is in a canoe adjacent to me. That's who's taking the picture with his son, but we had drifted apart, and I had gotten a little bit bored with fly fishing. I said, you know what, let me throw this gigantic lure that I have. Let's see what's in this lake. And sure enough, this thing hits my line, and I'm reeling it in, and I called to my buddy, And I'm like, hey, I'm going to need your help landing this thing. And he like laughs at me. Like he thinks that's like smack talk. He thinks I'm like talking trash that I got.
Oh, okay.
He's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And I was like, all right. And so I don't know if you could see it, my trout net that I have on my back. Like I go to like I'm going to do anything with that trout net with this fish.
Right.
And I'm like,
that's a big one.
Yeah. So then I'm like, hey, Chris, I need your net. And he's like, okay, enough. Just pull the fish in. Let's go on. And I'm like, enough. I'm like, I'm serious. And it did like a, it like breached. I was like, that's its back. And he thought it was like a riffle in the water. I was like, I'm being serious. And he hands me that net. If you look at that net is completely ineffective too. There's nothing that fish can put in that net. So actually credit to his son, 13-year-old son, loves fishing. He's out there. He's like, Adam, you're going to have to reach under the chin of this thing, and you're going to have to feel where the gills open, and all at once you're going to have to lift and grab that tail and control it. And I was like, you should see the teeth on this thing, Joe. I was like, all right, I don't know about that. But otherwise it was going to end up killing the fish because it was going to exhaust it too much. And, plus I had to get the lure back. Couldn't leave this big lure in its mouth. So that ended up being what we did. And it worked. The fish kind of chilled there for a second. We got the pliers out, got it back in the water, revived it, pulling the tail, and off it went. I don't know if it's male or female, but he or she, off it went. And it is safely back home in that lake enjoying life.
That's awesome. That's a great time. I used to go fishing a lot when I was a kid. A lot. Every once in a while. I really liked it. And then when Aiden started getting into it, that's when I started to go out again. And it's when you have a good day, it's so much fun. It's just so much fun. Yeah. Well, and you're like but you like fly fishing.
I like fly fishing.
I've never done that before.
I would fish with dynamite if they would let me, though. Like I'll fish any way that I can.
Really?
No, I wouldn't truly fish with dynamite. Although it'd be fun to say that I did. But yeah, I would fish any way that I could. But what I was going to say is, I think one of the things that I love about fishing is it for me, it's literally mesmerizing. So I can get so in tune with the water, with the fish, with what I'm aiming for, with the rhythm. And it's one of the few times I actually forget about everything. And that's what I mean by being mesmerized. I can be taken away. It almost becomes timeless. I'm surrounded by the sounds of nature. Like on that little lake, there was bald eagles fishing all around us. There were otters in the water fishing. And there were no motorboats. So you're just surrounded by these natural, removed, disconnected sounds from kind of everyday life. And it was great. It was a real treat. It was wonderful too. I've talked a lot. I'm not good at being able to remove myself. So it was a really, really good trip. I was enjoying that.
Yeah. And then you're not, I mean, that's all you can do is fish. Like you're out on a boat, and if somebody tries to contact you, it's not like you have to answer. I'm just out on a boat. I can't. And I think that's also the difference between like fishing and whatever an angler is, like a fisher and an angler. It's like there's a goal here, but also fishing is like about being out and being away and focusing and or losing your surroundings just for a little bit and just being present. That's one of the things I love about that.
Well, I agree. And one of the things I like about fly fishing is typically I'm in the river. So it's even more literally submersive. Like the river is flowing around. It's just even more of everything I just said. So it's, like I said, it is really, really kind of mesmerizing. I got to say, we got some cool faces. I mean, there's always cool faces. I got new faces. I haven't seen Robinson before. So thanks for joining us. Joe getting up early. He's also a Wisconsin fisherman. He's transplanted to Minnesota.
All right.
I got transplanted a little farther than he did, but I have to say Joe has been one of the best friends and colleagues, particularly in the industry, that I could have in Minnesota. So guys, check out Joe's offerings. As always, killer stuff.
And we should I mean, I have my first question of the day about snakes. And by the way, this is Proper Cup of Joe, and I'm Joe, and I don't have any snakes, and this is Adam, and he does, and I have a lot of questions. So my first question is like the feeling that you described, is that akin to owning a snake? Like, is there something about the beauty of nature and owning a snake
Oh yeah, I mean,
that draws you out, and like, you know, the feeling that we were just talking about, even Jim is like, yeah, being one with nature, and everybody should start the day that way. And it's funny, I actually agree. Whenever I do something like in nature early in the morning, like it really brightens my day. So is there something akin to owning and having a snake that draws you into, you know, the natural world or something?
yeah, I still think that my biggest trouble with efficiency is that I get stuck just looking at the snakes. Like, I know like the tasks that need to get done. I know the way to get it done. I know the sink that I have bought, the facility that I've bought, the layout. All of that goes by the wayside when I just get starting to look at snakes, and I start going, well, I'm going to pair this to this. And especially this time of year, because I'm going to start writing my pairing and breeding plans for the upcoming winter, which is when I'll start pairing again.
Yeah.
And so like an hour will pass and I'm like, what have I done? And I'm like, nothing. You have stood there looking at looking at snakes. Yeah. So yeah, so there's definitely those moments. And then the other thing too is that
that's really awesome. Let me just say, that's really awesome. Like, that's like, for a time in my life, you know me, I've I've done many different things in my life, in like my professional life. And like, at one point I was like, you know, I'd really like to be like, just like a park ranger. And then I thought, I think I would just like walk around and not get anything done, because
I wouldn't do any work. Yeah.
Look at that. Whoa, look at that.
Be all looking at the elk. Well, did you go do it for a summer?
No, I never did
okay.
that.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually secretly would like to do that too. That'd be great. So
I went to a park in Florida once when I was in college. It was this Cayo Costa was called, and we stayed. I stayed for a week on there. We camped out and everything, and there was like this park ranger who had retired from a career and then became a park ranger. And then I thought, yeah, maybe that's like a retirement plan. I don't know, just to be close to nature and to make money still in retirement.
Something. Yeah,
yes,
I think it would be very cool, man. But then the other thing that is still just crazy to me as well, like, I know the science behind the genetics and what should be in the eggs.
Yeah.
It's still like doing magic when you cut the egg open and you're like, boom, that's exactly what's supposed to be there. And you're like, it is a weird thing that it, like, you know that it works, but it's still like this, like, just because you breed two I'm a little bit out of this morning, folks. Piebalds together, you know, mentally and rationally, they're going to make all piebalds. But when you cut the eggs open, it's still like, yes, that's so cool. It's the coolest thing. So, you know, I still
well, that's the thing. Like, and that's ultimately why I was like, man, this is maybe not for me, because I'm not like.
By the way, there's a multitude of reasons why this isn't for really maybe anybody, but yeah, go ahead.
I kind of go, but this is like, I just like the wonder of it. Like, I don't, but I like the wonder of it. So, but all of this, like, figuring out what the thing, like, I don't want to, like, I almost don't want to know, because I want it to be magical to me. I don't know. Is that a weird thing?
No, it's not a weird thing, but you get the best of both worlds. you get the best of both worlds, because not everything is guaranteed in the eggs. There's certain things that you can guarantee, but then there's other things that you're constantly hoping for, because that's how you advance. You have to put a new gene in that may or may not pass on in a certain form. And that's how these new combos come. So you do have the known, and you have that unknown of, what could I hit? What might I
can
hit?
understand that. Yes. I can understand how, like, there's even a wonder in knowing, like, that we have figured out, like, that's kind of like a cool part. We as human beings have figured out how certain things work in nature. And like, even there's a wonder in that, like, wow, we have figured this out, and actually it works. It works. And to see it work must be kind of exhilarating too.
That's kind of what I mean. And when you put it in that context, it's almost overwhelming. Like, all these people for 100 years, somebody didn't have anything better to do than study fruit fly genetics and be like, I think this could work. I think this is real. Like, I don't know how that guy ate. Like, Mendel, like it's great work and iconic after the fact. But at the time, where do you get funding to be like, yeah, we really need to study these fruit flies? And then I'm going to draw, and like, here's my big work, guys. I drew a little square of boxes. And here we are still using the Mendel's genetics, and not only using it, like, it sounds crazy, I've built my livelihood around Mendel's fruit fly work. And when I put it that way, it's a really bonkers, it's almost overwhelming, you know?
But you don't do you consciously think about that when that, like, or is it like like breeding snakes is a part of something, and the science of breeding, you're entering into something that has been studied, worked upon, that it's like you're entering into the stream of science. So when something works, or when you see something work in the theory of how genetics happen or behave, right? When you're doing this thing, do you feel as though you are entering into that stream of science? And is that part exhilarating, or is that like does that not enter your brain at all?
It is, and it does. All right, if we're going to keep up your analogy of the stream, the really big players are in the middle of the stream. They're the water. They're the knowledge. They're the icons, the standard bearers, the people that have been at it for a while. They're the ones mentoring other people. And then there's other people just waiting in at the riverside, a little rows that they have of water flowing. And it feels like it's a neat thing when you can take another step towards the middle. And it takes a long, long time. There's a reason that people have been at it for 20, 30, 40 years, and that are the icons that they are. You don't get to just do that overnight. And there are times where I wonder, and I felt this way in food and beverage sometimes, I have to admit, like, I understand sometimes why people that have been at it 20 or 30 years do want to step back, both from a lifestyle standpoint, but also from people like me just get their knowledge, and people like me just get their all their work, like there's a dollar figure attached to it, and the combo that they spent 5 or 10 years making or working toward, for the right price, I get to just have it and use it. And that's an interesting part of it as well. And when I say I felt that way in food and beverage, it wasn't that I was doing anything proprietary or anything, but the world had changed from where I carved out my name and carved out my experience and my expertise. That's a whole different world than sticking an iPad on the table and telling a customer to order for themselves. Like, that's a different world. I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm saying it doesn't call to me nearly as much. And I bet that that's how some of the breeders that say, you know what, it's time for me to hang it up. It's not that they're not excited about the snakes, or that I'm not excited about food and service. It's just a different world, and it operates differently in the world of shed testing and internet podcasts and information flying that isn't treated as proprietary anymore. I could see that as being a like a paradigm shift that they don't like.
Yeah, like I wonder if you thought about the work that you do in a certain way and how you're entering into a river, a stream of people doing the same type of thing. Like I imagine that it's similar with like in the food industry. I imagine that it's like similar to like being a chef, maybe trying to find the right presentation, the dish, and all of that, and then but also service, like coming up with new ways to serve, and who are like you don't hear about pioneers of service, do you? Or
Oh
you don't?
yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
So
there's a book called a mint on the pillow isn't enough. Like it's just it's a classic
yeah,
service book. So, but I actually thought of that when you're saying, well, the chef has to think of the plate and that. My first thought went to how did I connect with a guest? How did I make their night memorable?
yeah,
How was that occasion special? And this is getting off of snakes a little bit, but I almost like played out these scenarios or made like backstories in my mind where, oh, these people are on the first date. What if they get married? Like they're going to always remember this place and this moment. So you got to have a nice
yeah.
experience. Or
Like
what if,
coming up with a story.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Or what if it's holidays are tough. Like you could get resentful really fast. Oh, I'm working on this holiday and all these people are here. What if these families haven't spoken in 20 years and this is a moment that can be the first time in a long time and the start of something really wonderful
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that. Or just the old, you never know what people are going through. So why not make this moment excellent kind of deal?
Right,
And
right,
I,
right.
I really always liked that, man.
I think the lack of that is something that I deal with all of the time. Like, and I think being restless, it contributes to my restlessness. It contributes to me wanting to do something different because I'm not entering into, or I'm not in a field that I feel particularly involved in the stream. I'll do things more like you were talking about, like with service, which is like, okay, let's make this moment really good for this individual that I'm serving or something like that, or working with on their, I mean, right now it's taxes, but in the future or in the past, it's any number of things that I've done. So make the moment really good. But I think what I get like antsy about is that I haven't gotten into like a profession where I go, I'm a part of this and I'm contributing to this stream, which or this stream is a weird word. You're contributing to this overall movement of the industry. So I think I kind of get bored with what I do, and I want to try something else. I want to find that, and I think that's a really important thing in order to be happy, in order to do the things even when you're sick or you're at your lowest, to really to find the thing that you want to contribute to, that you want to be a part of, the stream that you want to walk into and wade into and move along with other people. Find the thing that really invigorates you to work and work as hard as you can, even in your lowest points.
Don't you feel that way, or do you feel that way about academia? I think the way that you connect with your students and the to me, teaching and education is something that really can't be faked for very long. I always said that about service. Like,
Yeah,
if you're not into this, it's going to eat you alive
yeah,
because honestly, it's not, you don't get much thanks. It's hard hours. You're away from your family. You're just going to resent it if you don't love it. And I
yeah.
feel like academics is a little bit that way. It's notoriously underpaid. It's under attack. There's all sorts of, arrows flying at you in any way, shape, or form. Do you feel that way about academics when you're pursuing that?
Yes. But so I'd have to take a broader view because there's a whole lot that is involved in academics, and I think for the first time in my life, I want to be a part. I really want to be a part of education and contribute to education,
Yeah.
even though that has been something that I like to do in the past, and I've like kind of dabbled in it and everything. But it is something that I want to wade in that stream. I want to get into that stream and really contribute to it. But I think there are, like, when teaching becomes something other than what I like. And I think that's what happens in everybody's jobs. If you find a passion and then you get into like the job, then it becomes something different. So like my focus is, what I think that I love to do is explore. Like I love to mentally explore. I like to explore. So
Stay curious, right?
Yeah, I am curious, and I like to do that with other people. I want other people to explore ideas together. I really like that, and I think that's where I want to go to next. I want to be in a position where I'm always doing that. I'm always exploring concepts specifically. But I'm not saying, oh, that's teaching is the thing that I love to do. It's really exploring with other people that I really love to do. So if teaching becomes something that's different,
that's the vehicle,
then I'm gonna be out. But if I can do that within a particular profession, I'm gonna search for that profession. And so I feel like, it's probably my next step is to find a way to do that all of the time, because it really, really feeds me. It really makes me energetic.
Well, let me make you a pitch. Doesn't pay well, but we could do this like 5 days a week if you just wanted to explore crazy ideas. Because the well is deep here, okay? Like I don't know how we'd live. I'm not sure. We might have to consolidate studios, reduce overhead. But we could. All joking aside, we've all heard it's attributed to Mark Twain, but I don't know if it's actually him or not. But the quote about, if you can make your vocation, your job, your vacation, you'll never work a day again in your life. And I've heard that forever. First, because I love Mark Twain, and so I've always heard that. But secondly, because like that always rings in my ear, and part of me would always resent that, because I'm like, yeah, that's great. Why don't I just take fly fishing vacations forever and see how that goes for my life? Maybe maybe that'll work out. Maybe. I'm not saying not to go do it, but I like these life stage like mentality. Like there was I called it my mercenary years. Pay me, I'll go. So I would go anywhere. I went to Scottsdale. I went to North Carolina. I took a store in Alabama. I was all over. I would work anywhere. Just make the money right, and I'll go there. I'm single, don't own a home, whatever. Then the next phase was, okay, time to settle down a little bit. I meet Kelly. Gotta, almost like the Napoleon Dynamite. Gotta have skills, man. You gotta have the things to attract the women. You gotta be presentable to the mate. Then you find the mate, and then you got to really like accumulate some wealth. You got to build your home and that sort of thing. And I did those things, and then I was able to step back and go, what am I doing? I'm not that happy. I was happy doing all that other stuff, but I'm not happy with the vehicle that it took me to get that other stuff. And what I bring that up is like, I legitimately am excited when I wake up in the morning to get to work. Now I'm tired. There's days like today that I don't know what the heck is going on with me, and I got to see a doctor. But I'm legitimately excited when I get up in the morning. I'm tired when I go to bed, and I'm thirsty to go get more. And in that way, that quote that haunted me for years and that I resented, it's kind of like I feel a little bit like I'm not on this vacation forever. Yeah. And it's not a vacation. I work my butt off, and I snake poop and rat poop and figure out how to market snakes and rats in a quarter operated car wash. But in a crazy way, that is really exciting. It's really something I look forward to. It's anything but a vacation, but it is something I'm excited to look forward to, and that I do look forward to. So in that way,
and it's exactly what the quote, you did exactly what the quote said. You started with something that you thought was interesting, and then you were like, let's move into this. Let's see, how do I make this work? How do I do this? Yeah.
But I had to get all that other stuff. So it's funny because sometimes I hear people, I'll talk to people that are 22, 24, 28, and they're like, I have nothing to lose. This is the time of my life I should be jumping into this. And I'm going, I've already banked that stuff. As long as I don't touch that bank, I got nothing to lose over here, kind of deal. And it's
okay.
But that means it's just a matter of perspective, which means that's just all the reasons not to do it if somebody doesn't do it. So go do it. Go, within reason. Don't make yourself homeless, and you got to feed your kids. But otherwise, do something. Try it,
I think it's that it's finding the thing that the wonder of the thing, or the stream that you want to wade into. I think that's super important. I don't know if it's maybe it is, maybe it's snakes, but I feel like that's almost too specific for what I'm talking about. It's the draw. It's like what we've been talking about. It's like, it's the draw of nature. It's the draw of how nature works. It's being a part of how nature works. That's really, really intriguing. Or maybe, that's what's intriguing about it to me, but maybe not to you. But my point is, I think it's important to find out your why. Like, why are you doing it? Why do I like this so much? And track that down, instead of going, I want to be this person. I want to be a snake breeder. Well, why? Find the why and follow the why, as opposed to, I want to be this profession.
Well, and I think so. I had an experience one time, and it's been a little while back, but a friend and I had a disagreement in the industry, and the friend says to me, "Well, Adam, I don't understand why we're disagreeing about this. You've always been about the money." And I said, "Yeah." And I was like, wait a minute. Somebody's mistaking my channel about business and business insight or experience or a business-minded approach for caring more about pennies than I do about people or the industry or the community or all of that. And it made me really back up and say, I had to change the tone of my channel. I'll work this out with my friend. But in a bigger picture, if that's what people perceive of me, that it's just pennies, it's just dollars.
Right. Yeah.
That's insane. And I hope, I know that we demonstrate it every week, because I don't know if you want to share, Joe, or not, but we're not exactly getting rich doing this here. So it is, yes, there's a business. Yes, there's the thing that, the lights and the expenses and the money in and the money out and the P&L sheets and all of that. But it's far more about the relationships and experiencing kind of what you're talking about. So there's the science, there's the snakes, there's the history, there's the people in the community. I mentioned Joe earlier, JSA, that welcomed me to a new market when they could have easily been very competitive and combative, or Keeper Kane in Tennessee that's supporting us here with his logo,
or Ectothermic Dungeon. I mean, look at this. I don't think I've ever seen them on here.
Oh yeah, I recognize their name. Yeah, what a name, right? And so that stuff, I love the idea that there are good and bad things, but I like to focus on the good things. There are things that don't fit on a spreadsheet, and that taught me that I had not been expounding that mentality enough. I can't quantify why certain events are so good just because I take the time to go strike up a conversation or go sit at a bar with strangers next to me. It's sort of like putting yourself in a situation where if that information comes down the stream, you can snatch it up. You can't, if you don't get into the lifestyle. And I think that's why I miss doing the shows. Even the shows I don't make the money at, I'm always meeting. I'm always, It's funny because it's not like transactional, like, oh, I got to go find this next deal, or I got to go find this next transaction. It's a whole lot more of, like you say, staying curious. What's this person up to? What do they do? Yeah. Where did you get that thing from? And like, just great conversations come up from it. And you never know what somebody else has to offer or what you have to offer them. And so it's all of that. It's snakes, it's the people, it's the industry. It's a little unregulated Wild West. Like it's kind of that there's that draw to it. Like it's a
bit of setting up branches in
Wisconsin. Yeah, you got to go regional, multi-state operations, and but it's a little like it's a really pure form of capitalism, which I realize is a whole different conversation. But from just the pure economics of supply, demand, micro markets, macro markets, I love it all, man. It's a cool environment.
It's really nice to hear you say that, actually, because sometimes we do talk about a lot of stuff that's like, okay, well, how do we make this work? How do things work? And I mean, that's the nature of language, is that you're defining certain things. But it's like, I love the story of you going, you getting lost for an hour just looking at your snakes and going, wow, this is incredible. Look at this one. Look at that one. Look at this one. I mean, that is for as regimented as a person as you are, and for as somebody who loves to plan and loves to go, okay, there's still this thing. And I think that's the hobby part, right?
That's the little 10%. You just got to let yourself have the happiness. Like,
that is the why that has drawn you into this river. And what we talk about and what we define in our language are all the things that allows you to stay in that river, that allows you to stay in that river with that wonderment of going, wow, look at this one, cutting open an egg and then seeing, wow, this actually freaking works. This is incredible. That's great.
I've never seen that in the world before, and maybe literally has never existed in the history of the universe.
That there's a possibility of that. Yes.
Right.
That this nature could create something new and exciting that nobody has ever seen before. I mean, so that's what I like. I love that. I love like finding that with people. I love hearing that from you, because a lot of what we talk about is, well, how do we stay afloat? What's the best way to handle this situation, that situation? And at the core of everything, at the core of what we do, if we're happy or content with what we are professionally, is that, wow, this is incredible. This is everything, that this thing works in that way, and that I'm a part of this in some way. That's such a cool thing to hang on to and to recognize and to go back to.
Yeah, and that last part where you go back to it, like the days where you worry about the revenue or the seasonality or how it's going to stay on, or is this really working or not? That's what you go back to, and that's where your fuel is. And it's not that you just tell yourself it's fine and it's magically fine. No, that's the fuel where then you go, okay, let me get my button gear and start marketing. Let me get my button gear and call customers. Let me do the CRM, the customer relationship management. Let me figure out how I'm going to bring more eyes to a company that has supported me. Those sorts of things. You just then it's like, oh yeah, now I remember what I'm here for. Let me go do this and get the gas in the tank and really go.
It's the juice. It's the juice that keeps you going. Yes.
All right. So Joe, we've had almost an hour for the doctors in the audience to give their diagnosis. Now we've got some new eyes, so I wanted to circle back because I've got my top 3 list of what could be ailing me. So audience, if you weren't here at the beginning, check out Keeper Kane on YouTube. Great YouTube channel. You can go back and watch the promo. Also some great deals down below for you. I was just explaining to somebody on Husbandry Pro. They were like, well, I want somebody's spreadsheet tracked like 5 generations back. I'm like, what if you didn't have to have a spreadsheet? It's just digital right there out in the cloud with Husbandry Pro. You could check that out. And then use the promo code PROPER11 for your frozen rodents. You're going to get free shipping on any order over $200. And let me tell you, we all know snake food's going to cost you $200. So get your free shipping with Proper11 from Cold Blooded Cafe. And I hope I say it, but like, these are long-term partnerships. Like Husbandry Pro that banner's been on there for a year and a half. Cold Blooded Cafe my relationship with them goes all the way back to 2022. It's just, it's a really cool thing that I'm thankful for and the support. So they're great products. I believe in them. It's easy to advocate because of how I believe in them. All right, my symptoms. Here we go. I got vertigo. I don't know if you saw me. My eyes got a little big maybe 10 minutes ago. I definitely had one of the, okay, you're not going to fall out of this chair, Adam. You're fine. So I got this vertigo coming in waves, coming and going. I have fatigue. I am getting tireder by the moment, and I'll be exhausted by, noon or 1 o'clock.
You use strange words like tireder.
Tireder. Okay. I just made it up. Yeah, I couldn't say piebald earlier. So I'm tireder. And
you almost said bald-pied.
Bald-pied, yeah. And then after the fatigue comes almost simultaneously as the headache and the body aches. And I'm on day 4 of this. So here's my top 3 things according to the internet, but maybe the audience knows too. Very well. The 2 are very serious. 1 is not very. I've kind of ruled out 1, but I thought about 1. So the one I ruled out is a stroke. I don't seem to be having a stroke. I think I'm okay. I have full movement. I haven't drooped face or anything. And I don't think that strokes last for 4 days. So I think I'm okay on that.
Okay.
It could be lingering motion sickness, which I really have never had, but I was on the water for 2 days. But 2 days on the water, 4 days later, I shouldn't be having this. And I certainly shouldn't be having the body aches and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm really worried about. What if I got a tick bite? What if I got some Lyme disease going on?
Oh, boy.
And that, I was out in the woods, those Wisconsin ticks. Well, Joe says I need to fish more. I'm worried that my fishing has led to my challenge here. Although I do believe fishing would cure any ailment, but I actually am legitimately wondering if I got a tick bite and I got a dose of little Lyme's disease thing.
Oh, gee. Have you inspected your body?
Yeah, I did. I gave myself a pretty good once over. I have some spots truly down the spine of my back that I really am not sure if they're just like usual, you work hard and then you get a skin blemish or whatever. So, and then the other thing is possibly this enters my mind too, and this is not fair to our hosts. When people are shipping food in and out of a cabin and then there's leftovers and you're using igloo coolers and, there's some food safety.
I wonder if it's out for more than 4 hours.
That's right. I wonder. We're cooking on a fire pit. I wonder if I got a little foodborne illness, a virus from maybe some mishandled food. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna get checked out today. What is good though is I don't have the congestion or the chest stuff. So it's not like I don't think I'm going down for the count with flu or COVID or anything. It's really just this physical fatigue that is kicking my ass, man. It's just, it's a little tough.
So when is your doctor appointment?
10:15 this morning.
Oh, 10:15 this morning. Okay. So we'll find out what your sickness is. And here's my prediction for the doctor.
Okay.
The doctor is going to say, you have a virus, just get some rest. That's what doctors always say.
I know. And I hope that's not the case because it could be true, but like I say, this vertigo it's not, I don't want to make it overly dramatic, but it is, it's starting to be a little bit debilitating for what I need to accomplish and what I need to focus on.
Wow. Yeah. Oh man, Adam. Well, I hope things turn around for you, buddy.
Yeah. Either way, I'll be at the show on Sunday, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, the Snake Discovery Show. You might find me at my wooziest. You could really score a deal that day. Come on by, see what's going on.
Yeah, and I hope that you're cured by then because you're gonna be on the ball there, son.
I know. I need something to bust this up. So
yeah.
We'll see. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. You got anything cool coming up this week, Joe? What are you excited for, man?
Just more building of sheds. So I got the roof on this past weekend, so I'll be working on that this week.
Okay. How about old Sheddy Krueger?
Sheddy Krueger. Okay.
Sheddy Krueger. Not bad for the Halloween coming up. What?
I want it to be a happy place, though. That has imagery of death and murder. So
okay, how about
I don't want it to be a murder shed.
Shed Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Oh, that's wonderful. I don't
Shed
think
Rogers.
I'm going to name it. I don't think I'm going to.
You should name the shed, man. I've been cooking up a few more. All right, we're gonna keep trying this out, man. All right, we need a full shed update this time next week, guys. Guys, I hope that you're doing well. I will have the website is pretty up to date, not 100%, but lots of cool stuff coming down the pipe for this cool season coming up. I hope to see you somewhere. Joe, we'll be right back here, same place, same time next week. If you'll be back,
I will be back.
Okay.
I'll see you then.
All right, I'll see you then. I'll let you know how the vertigo diagnosis goes.
Okay, man.
Take Adios. Boom.